ladies and gentlemen. I hope that today was a good day for you, full of new information and inspiring thoughts that will serve as a boost to the work that you are doing. I know that it's getting demanding to pay attention after a whole day of listening. But please be so kind and give us a few more minutes just to wrap it up, just to wrap up the whole conference with closing remarks from a few important people that were with us today. As the first one, I would like to ask Lucia Kiš from the Ministry of Foreign and European Affairs. Lucia, please join me on the stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear Excellencies, it's really a pleasure to stand here before you. But really, what a day. And I would like to start by thanking the organizers for creating really an excellent space for cooperation and partnerships. I can say for myself, but I'm sure you also had an excellent day full of panel discussions, deep talks. There was a lot of space for networking, for side events, bilateral meetings with international organizations. And really, I mean, this space that was created today is extraordinary. And I'm really happy that it happened last year and that we're already talking about next year. There are a variety of partners present from 31 countries. So really, I think this needs an applause. So. And thank you all for coming and celebrating 20 years of our anniversary, because it's 20 years that Slovakia is a member of the international donor community, that Slovakia helps other countries outside of its borders, and it's also 20 years of the existence of Ambrela, of the development platform. It's 10 years also that Slovakia is the member of the OECD DAC community, and 30 years that Slovakia exists. So it's a year of anniversaries. But thank you very much for coming to Bratislava. And I'm really happy that I'm standing here on behalf of the Ministry of Foreign and European Affairs. And we've heard a lot, and we talked about the necessity to listen. And on behalf of the ministry, I can say that really we are open for dialogue. We're open to listen, and all the messages that were talked about today, we will pass them on to our policy makers and decision makers and on the political level, because it's really important to have the political ownership, the political will to solve the crises that were mentioned today, and then to come also with the funding. What was mentioned by Tanya Cox this morning, think differently, this really resonated today, and I hope that and it's really important, really, to think differently in addressing crises, because without doing that, we won't be able to solve them effectively, and they will reoccur. So really, I hope that today you've had the opportunity to think differently, and you've had the opportunity to talk about many different topics, such as Ukraine reconstruction, climate change, global education, humanitarian funding, and the need for its increase, about accountability, the rising needs and inequalities in the world, nexus, and many other topics. So I said I will be brief, but I'm really grateful again about the partnership that we have with Ambrela and with civil society organizations, because civil society organizations are really crucial and an important backbone of our society. And I'm really happy that because of the anniversary, 20 years, we've organized a 3-day event and called it the SlovakAid Development Summit. This is the first day. The second day, and I'm sure I will see each other, I will see many of you tomorrow as well at the premises of the Ministry of Foreign and European Affairs for the International Conference and Awards Dinner. And then on Friday, there will be a public event in the shopping center Aupark. So basically these 3 days, we called them SlovakAid Development Summit. And very importantly, the 3 days are organized under the auspices of the President of the Slovak Republic, Madame Čaputová, which we're really grateful for. So see you all tomorrow, and thank you very much again.
Thank you. Thank you, Lucia, for your words. Now I would like to ask Miroslav Kastran, civil society representative from the Embassy of Ukraine in Slovakia, for a few closing remarks. Miroslav, please join me.
Your Excellency, distinguished guests, the participants of this forum, representatives of the non-governmental organizations, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really very honored and privileged to be here among you and deliver this closing remark. And in my closing remarks, I'd like to stress and underline maybe 3 moments which I believe are very important, first of all, for us. First, I would like to say that since the full-scale military invasion of Russia against my country, the Slovak Republic has become one of the first countries that granted support and opened their homes for the tens of thousands of Ukrainians fleeing the Russian aggression. And as of today, more than 130,000 Ukrainians currently live in the Slovak Republic, having the status of temporary protection, and they have found here a refuge. A crisis headquarters for the provision of the humanitarian aid to Ukraine was created here. And this headquarters still operates under the auspices of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Slovakia and under the auspices of the Ministry of Internal Affairs as well. By decision of the government of Slovakia, a road and rail logistics hub was created and organized in Košice. And this hub still operates through the Emergency Response Coordination Center and ensures the delivery of humanitarian aid from the European Union countries towards Ukraine. And in this regard, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to all the Slovak institutions, ministries, and authorities for this support and for this help from the very beginning of this war. But no less important, but maybe sometimes even more significant, was and is the help of the public, and as well as non-governmental public organization here in Slovakia, because they cover a huge part of this humanitarian aid which is provided to Ukraine. In particular, in 2022, last year, the Slovak public organization managed to collect almost 17 million euros for the humanitarian aid to Ukraine, to people in Ukraine and to refugees here in Slovakia, Ukrainian refugees. Almost 11,000 tons of humanitarian aid were delivered to Ukraine, and more than 4,000 tons of which were provided by the Ambrela platform of the Slovak Development Organizations. And the aid was distributed among 334,000 Ukrainians in my country. And let me highlight separately the work of such organizations of the Ambrela platform as Adra Slovensko, Človek v ohrození, Karpatská nadácia, nadácia Integra, Slovenský Červený kríž, Slovenská katolícka charita, Spišská katolícka charita, Step In, and others. In this regard, I would like to express my sincere gratitude for the humanitarian aid you provided and to all those who participated and keep participating in this process as of today. Unfortunately, Russia demonstrates readiness for the protracted war of attrition, hoping to win this war with the use of its still significant resources, war fatigue, and even nuclear blackmail. In revenge for its military losses on the ground, Russia continues terrorizing Ukrainians by attacking critical infrastructure, objects of critical infrastructure, and residential areas by using drones, bombs, missiles, and resulting in significant casualties and destruction. The targets of Russian attacks are mainly port infrastructure, grain warehouses, airfield network, and civilian buildings, which can be considered as nothing else but violation of the laws and customs of the war. This is why Ukraine keeps working on maintaining the unity among our partners and strengthening the pro-Ukrainian coalition in the world to bring Ukraine's victory over the Russian aggressor closer. In a number of declarations that were made following different international forums and summits that have been held recently, the European Union, the United States, and our other international partners declared their remaining and unwavering military, financial, political, and humanitarian aid. And that is why we need to remain united in our fight against the aggressor. Nowadays, everyone who shows concern for the Ukrainian nations through their big and small deeds is bringing closer the time when Ukrainians will have a peaceful sky above their heads in their independent, democratic, and European state. In conclusion, I'd like to once again express my gratitude to the organizers of today's event and to all those participants for their support of Ukraine. I wish you every success, peace, goodness, and harmony in our native land. Thank you so much, and have a good evening.
Thank you. Thank you, Miroslav, very much. And who else could have the very final word than Daniel Kaba, Executive Director of Ambrela. Dano, please come and join me.
I'm a dear guest, and if you may, I will skip all the excellencies. And by the way, in the meantime, it's my pleasure to have also with us Miss Ambassador of Slovakia to Kenya among us. Welcome, Katarina, and also some others you just arrived in the meantime. I'll be very brief. We are on time. That's my first remark, or we are almost on time. That's great. Second thing I wanted to say is basically why we organize it. And I'm very happy that there were, like in a beehive, so much, when it comes to conversation, discussions, cooperation, networking. I'm also very happy that this year we managed to have pre-scheduled meetings, and not only between civil society organizations, but also between government to government or government to international organizations, because it should be win-win, and I think that we should provide a platform for the dialogue between and among various actors. So that's what I wanted to stress out. Then, second, what I wanted to say, we are tired. We are probably tired, right? After the whole day. Some left. But it is, we can have different flavors of tiredness, right? It can be exhaustion, up to that, and frustration, and different combinations. I hope that after the whole day, you'll be leaving, not for good, but maybe for the reception out there with, let's say, being nicely tired. And I started this morning with a quote. I'm going to repeat. So, or reiterate, coming together is a beginning, keeping together is a progress, and working together is a success. So I firmly hope that, without being overly pathetic, that Ambrela Forum could contribute, at least in a slight portion, in some bits and pieces, to our community of Central Eastern European actors, including partner countries, Ukraine and the others, including also international institutions, European Commission and other actors and UN agencies. And now I would only like to say a couple of thank yous. Thank you to my predecessors, to General Director Lucia Kish for having closing remarks. Thank you to Mr. Ambassador Miroslav Kastran. Very happy to having you the whole day today with us. We appreciate it a lot. And I would also say a big thank you to all of you, and specifically, without naming concretely, all the panelists and moderators, and also the master of the day, Eva, I would name her. And I think also I would like to say a big thank you to my team. So I think that it deserves the applause too. So that's all. Thank you. I don't know where Eva is now. Okay. Yeah, it should be vice versa, right? That's it. Thank you very much. And the last announcements are by you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dano. Well, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, as you may notice, there are very moving photographs of Ukrainian people affected by war outside. And I would like to invite you to see the opening of this photo exhibition called I'm Fine by Albert Lohr and Pin CZ. Albert Lohr is a photographer who captured the life of Ukrainians surrounded by war. Then, 10-15 minutes afterwards, I would like to invite you also for the reception, where you can continue with your discussions and networking. So hopefully you had a good day with us, fruitful day with us, and I wish you a pleasant evening.